My first experience with Rocket League was shortly after it came out for free on PlayStation Plus. One of my friends had a PS4, so he picked it up. I went over to his house with some friends of ours and we all played Rocket League using 4-player split screen. It was the most fun I've had in any multiplayer game, hands down. Playing the 4v4 game mode on our tiny screens was so chaotic and all of us sucked but still blamed each other for seemingly obvious mistakes like whiffing the ball. You knew we were bad because we had assigned positions to each person, like goalie and forwards, because we knew nothing about the game or rotations. Even though I sucked and knew it, I still wanted to play because I knew I could improve. Coming off of League of Legends, this game felt completely different compared to the almost mathematical playstyle of League. I didn't play Rocket League for about 2 more years until it got ported to Switch, since that was the only modern console I had at the time. I jumped back in on my Switch the day it came out and got rehooked immediately. These clips you're seeing now are from my early days when it was a big deal for me to aerial. Anyways, I grew up playing soccer and have always loved that sport, and Rocket League is the closest thing to a sport in gaming. Lots of people say Rocket League is hard, and they're right. The skill gap is basically infinite since new mechanics are being discovered all the time. There's a common trend of someone discovering a new mechanic or move in the game, and then people say it'll never be used in competitive play, only for it to end up being used in the RLCS.
All season, and he pulls it off here in the most clutch moments. The player to invent the shot himself is able to get the delayed front.
The reason I say Rocket League is the closest thing to a sport in gaming is because there's no advantages in the game, unlike other games. Other games have various advantages and disadvantages of things like picking characters in fighting games or using different weapons that change up your playstyle. Rocket League, on the other hand, is solely focused on player skill and understanding the game. Every player has a different playstyle, and learning new mechanics and fixing previous mistakes is endlessly engaging. There are different cars with slightly different hitboxes, but it's so negligible that it barely matters. It's not like picking a different car will suddenly make you better. When it comes down to it, the better player or team will win. Whoever made less mistakes and can capitalize on their opponent's mistakes will come out on top. It's been really cool seeing my tangible progression in the game from the early days when scoring any type of aerial goal was cool, to now when I can occasionally hit a sick clip in ranked. Practicing and free play training obviously helps you work on specific mechanics, but for a long time, I didn't do free play at all and just played games. As long as you're trying new things you can only do some of the time, you'll still improve in a way that's fun. Later on, I found joy in going into free play and practicing a specific mechanic, but I never felt pressured to learn the things until I wanted to. Learning new things in Rocket League is fun for me because you'll see someone do something that seems impossible at first, like air dribbling, until you practice it enough times and start doing it yourself. I love playing Rocket League with other people too and trying to teach them how to get better. I play with my girlfriend sometimes and it's rewarding to see her getting better even if she does have some off days.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
She started the game barely being able to hit the ball, and now I'll notice things like her making clutch saves and clears after I missed a challenge. That feeling of excitement she got after scoring her first goal was so funny to me because I remembered how that felt when I first played. Then out of nowhere she tried aerialing, which is hilarious, but also cool to see her trying out mechanics she didn't even know existed when she first started playing. I ate my words the day she scored her first aerial goal, and I have saved every milestone of hers on my Switch. There's a common trend in gaming where one game blows up like PUBG or Fortnite, so then the industry shifts to try and hop on that new niche, spewing out a bunch of half-baked games trying to capitalize on the new market. Rocket League is different because it's so unique that you can't really copy it or change it up that much without affecting the core of the game. There are extra modes like Hoops and Snow Day, which is fun for a casual break, but the best mode in Rocket League is Soccer. There have been a ton of clones of Rocket League, but none of them have come close to being as good as Rocket League. This is because Psyonix, the developers of Rocket League, have perfected the game's physics engine. However, the Switch port of the game I play on isn't on par with the other platforms. When the game is working, it feels perfect with just some expected visual downgrades, But the main problem for me is the lack of attention that the Switch version gets. The Switch version of the game is often left in a buggier state compared to the other platforms. For example, my rank whenever I finished a game would just say unranked, even though I clearly had a rank displayed on the game's playlist screen. It took around 6 months to patch that for some reason. Although the Switch has some special issues when it comes to things like connection and just general bugginess with the menus sometimes, the core of the game has kept me coming back for 1,000 hours, and I don't see any game replacing it anytime soon. Every time I play, I feel like I get something out of my session. If I lose a lot, I know what I need to fix, and if I win a lot, I know what I did right. It's less vague than other team-based games because on almost every conceded goal, I could have done something earlier in the play to stop me from being scored on. Once I got past the mindset of blaming my trash teammates, I entered into the mindset of always blaming myself for something I did earlier. Like, yeah, maybe my teammate missed an easy save, but I probably went for a stupid challenge earlier that put him in that place to begin with. There's tons of communities within Rocket League too, with things like competitive ranked players, freestylers, and filthy casuals. The community for the game is very fun to be a part of, with people like SunlessCon and Musty dedicating their channels to make unique videos centered around the game, as well as pros running YouTube channels like Squishy and Rizzo, just showing off gameplay and what it's like to be the best at the game. I'm excited to see the future of Rocket League and hoping things like community-made custom maps will be added similar to how the Steam Workshop works, as well as maybe some new arenas to play in. I encourage everyone to try the game and play it how you want to play it. Go ahead and try and play all of the different game modes and see what appeals to you. To people first getting into the game, I recommend looking up good camera settings and adjust them from there to your preferences, since the default settings are pretty bad. Also, turn on ball cam. So many new players don't turn on ball cam, but trust me, it's so much better to have ball cam on the majority of the time, even if it feels awkward at first. With Rocket League going free to play sometime in the next month, many people will have eyes on the game. This is Psyonix's chance to clean up any loose ends and hopefully fix the few remaining rough edges that mainly involve the Switch version. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what your favorite multiplayer game is and why you like it so much.